What's up, y'all? It's my first live streaming, and it's random, so nobody knew I was gonna do this. So it's kind of funny, kind of weird for me, but yeah, I do have something I'm gonna share just a little bit about the whole COVID-19 thing, and I've had a lot of my friends, people in here, people on other platforms, kind of hit me up and ask some questions. My wife and I, we have a pretty strong financial structure, and we've gotten some questions, and there's been one topic at hand that I've been asked a lot lately, and I've been answering with this same thing. So I figured I'd do just kind of a live stream and kind of talk about it a little bit. So just wanted to say what's up to you guys and let you know that hopefully you guys are doing well. But so the first thing that what I've been telling people lately is a lot of people are trying to figure out their financial structure, and it's not as easy as what it sounds like it is. A lot of people are just trying to figure out what to do without their jobs, or not working and stuff like that. And the government is really government's really kind of knocking people out of thinking that they're stable with their jobs. And I would say this to people who are really trying to identify like how to get through this stuff. Whatever you invest in that's not your job, you got to ride that thing out for the long haul. And a lot of people try to over diversify. They try to do more than really what they should be doing, or a lot of people try to diversify with too little. My mentors always talk about doing too little or too much with too little, trying to overextend yourself. And if you want to understand how to have a financial structure that can sustain and you don't need a job, like my wife, we really technically don't. She doesn't have to work anymore because of some things that we've learned over the last 5 years. But the biggest thing is whatever you do, don't try to diversify too early. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. So to look to diversify, but you still have a job, I think that's a fool's errand. I think when people start to try to look and diversify and do other things, and they don't focus on one particular way, one initial platform to get free, I think it starts to really take a hit on that person's self-image. And, at the end of the day, my wife and I'll be 35 when I retire. My wife will be, she's 30. And we're living pretty prosperously right now. It's only because we focused on one thing for the last 5 years. We focused on cash flow. We focused on getting ourselves where we need to be and making sure we make good decisions, and we're emotionally stable. And that's 5 years we've replaced her income. And I'm excited because the next next year or two, I'm replacing mine. And then I'm going to write books. I'm going to start schools. I'm going to do all kinds of stuff. And the coronavirus didn't affect us. And the biggest thing I can tell people is don't try to do too much with too little. When you have a job and you work, a 9 to 5, you don't have enough to have, multiple things going on. You got to find one platform, build it to where you can replace your income with it. And it can be anything. A lot of people do real estate. A lot of people do. There's a lot of people that are out here doing stocks and things like that. My wife and I don't necessarily dibble and dabble in those things yet, but I don't think I ever will mess with stocks. But I mean, to each his own. But the thing is, so many people are so short-term minded, they're going to keep a job for a long time. And when you think about stuff like that, it just depends on I just talked to a young guy today, and he's just trying to figure out if he needs to go to college. My big thing to him was, dude, you got to do whatever makes you happy, and it's going to be the payoff in 5 years. I don't give a crap about 2, 3, 4 years from now. I'm focusing on one thing. I'm going to beat on it until it gives me what I want. And that's paid off really well. It's literally been 5 years. My wife walks away from work. I'm striving to do the same thing. So COVID is just kind of opening people's eyes. It's like, okay, the government had to give people paychecks, man. Like, that's crazy to me. The government had to give people, we live in a paycheck to paycheck country. Like, if anybody ever thought like, okay, paycheck to paycheck country, like, this is where we live, this is what we do. I have a great job. Okay, well, you live in, like, the country you live in lives paycheck to paycheck. And it's because we have this kind of, philosophy that transcends everyone's ambition. And it's just like, I need to work. I need to work, work for other people. And we live in the land of the free, home of the brave, and And it's time for people to really identify, step up, and be brave and start and do their own thing. So but the biggest information, the biggest little thing that I've been telling people lately, and I'm telling you guys, is, dude, focus on identifying something that's a platform that you can establish for yourself. I don't even care who cares what it is. Like, if you care what it is, you're already losing. Be outcome focused. Really look for something that's going to be long-term sustainable. Look for the fruit on the tree from the people that are before you, and then just bet on yourself. My wife and I bet on ourselves, and it's played out properly. It's played out well. You're in America. This is where you bet on yourself. So, focus on one platform. I told another guy today, I was like, he likes Kobe Bryant. He was telling me he likes Kobe Bryant. I'm like, you know what Kobe Bryant focused on from, did he focus on stocks, real estate, and, all these other things while he had a job? No. Kobe Bryant focused on basketball for his whole life, basically. And then when he had the platform and he retired, he went into business. He had the ability, he had the cash flow, he had the understanding, he had the network, he had everything to go into business and do multiple things. So, it's so funny how people, they try to do so much with their job and they wonder why it doesn't work. And that's because the initial platform is not established. You didn't focus on one thing. Focus on one thing for 5 years, and then you won't have to work for other people, and then you can diversify really aggressively. I'm going to play real life Monopoly in the next couple of years. I'm going to buy houses cash and just hold on to them, put renters in them. Eventually, I'm going to get into commercial real estate. I'm going to build my own school for kids K through 12 that teach free enterprise to young minorities. I'm going to write 4 books. I already know what my next 5 years is going to look like, the next 5 years. And from there, I'll start to envision the next 5 years. I want to give $5 million to my kids by the time they turn 18. My oldest is about to be 10. My middle kid just turned 5, and I have a 3-month-old. I can see that. But I'm going to focus on one thing until it gives me what I want, and then I'm going to diversify. So just my little word of advice to you guys. I know right now it's kind of a crazy time, and people are uncertain, but if that helps, hopefully it helps, and let's be smart about money. Let's make sure that we do everything that we should do, and just give all the praise and glory to our Heavenly Father, Jesus. So